Hi, and Happy New Year. Thanks for coming back. So today's video is titled Staying in Your Own Lane. The importance of staying in your own lane is elemental if you are going to create a life that feels really authentic and good for you. It's also really important in the ability to stay present in each now moment. So I'm going to offer you 3 tips for staying in your own lane. The first one is understand yourself. So often we go outside of us. We go to our spouse and we say, I want you to understand me. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Or your spouse comes to you, or your child comes to you. I want you to understand me. And the truth is, we aren't here to understand anybody other than ourselves. And when you fully own that it's your responsibility to understand yourself, and it's not anybody else's job to understand you, there's freedom. There's freedom and sovereignty in that. So know yourself. Number 2 is take full responsibility for yourself and for your emotions. And again, this is all about self-empowerment and presence. So when you take full responsibility for yourself and for your emotions, it means that when you experience emotions, sadness, anger, frustration, happiness, you're not projecting those things outside of you. You recognize that those things come from within. The feelings come from within you. And while they might arise in response to something that's occurring outside of you, don't fall into the trap of offering credit or offering blame or assigning blame to things happening outside of you. Don't fall into the trap of offering credit or assigning blame to the experiences and the people outside of you. So when you take full responsibility for yourself and your emotions, let's use anger, for example. Anger arises within you. And if you project it out onto the world, you're saying, I'm really mad because this happened and and you're telling yourself all these stories. And then you're reacting from that space. And you can do that, but that's not staying in your own lane. It's super disempowering and it doesn't work. So allowing emotions to arise and taking full responsibility for whatever emotion is arising within means that you recognize why an emotion is arising. It's arising always for you. It's always arising for you. When we're happy and experiencing joy, rather than clinging to the joy by assigning credit for what's happening outside of you for the feeling of joy, you just experience the joy. When anger arises within, instead of projecting it outside of you and trying to control or manipulate your environment, you just experience and allow the anger. Sometimes, like me, you might flip out. Okay, let it go. And learn from that. Learn from that. This is how anger feels within me. For me personally, my heart starts pounding, my face gets red. I can tell. I start holding my breath and tensing. And it's important for me to recognize that, because when I start feeling those feelings in my body, then I can take responsibility for it before it gets out of control, before I react, before I do something that I don't really want to do, or before I behave in a way that I don't really want to behave and that I'm not going to be proud of. I can go on a walk. I can get myself out of the situation. I can listen to music that I like, refocus. If I don't take full responsibility for myself though, if I'm projecting it outside of me and I'm angry, I'm gonna try to control you. I'm gonna try to control my dog. I'm gonna try to control my kids. And ultimately that is so incredibly disempowering because I can't. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. My kids are gonna behave how they're gonna behave sometimes. Okay. But in taking full responsibility for myself and for my emotions, I've empowered myself. The final one kind of relates to that. Shifts only occur within. I think the temptation, because the outer world is super distracting and enticing and exciting, we tend to try to control and manipulate and finagle outside of us. And that again is super disempowering. Shifts happen within. Shifts happen when we take full responsibility for ourselves and our experiences and our emotions. It doesn't mean that we say, oh, I caused this occurrence, because it's not about what's happening outside of you. Shifts from within mean this is happening right here, right now, and it's disturbing for me. And yet, I'm gonna focus on my breath. I'm gonna relax my body. I'm gonna be at peace in this moment because I can. I know how to do that. So staying in your own lane not only allows you to stay fully present in the now, but it also allows you the freedom of being fully self-empowered. You're not handing your power over to somebody else going, I really need you I really need you to understand me. You're not acting from emotions. And you're not reacting to situations. And finally, you're not asking anybody to change. You're not asking the world to change. You're accepting what is and allowing it to be as it is. And yet you're aware that how it is doesn't have to impact you in the ways that maybe it has in the past. Trying to keep my videos kind of short. This one's a little bit long. I hope that this was helpful for you, and thanks for coming back.